Okay. All right. Okay, let me just do a double check just to make sure that everything is going on well. Okay. Okay, parents. Hi, this is Coach John here from Learning Out of the Box, and thanks so much for being here. And I guess that today, probably some of you may have seen me for the third time, twice in the morning, and now it's the third time. And today we have our very special guest, and he's a man that I truly respect because he's teaching our kids a lot of things that probably is not discussed at home, and it's about financial savviness. Hello, Ernest.
Hi, John. Thanks for inviting me to this interview webinar.
Thanks, Ernest. Actually, in fact, I met you 5 years ago, and I truly like your work because a lot of times, talking about money doesn't happen in all houses.
True. That's why the media and one of the radio station I goes to, and the DJ asked me this question, and he says that, Ernest, what makes you so different, right? When we Chinese has a saying that, 讲钱伤感情. When you talk about money, it hurts a relationship. But how come you can keep on talking about money and it doesn't hurt any relationship? In fact, we feel so much better about it. And the thing is, my answer is simple. And of course, I thought about it for quite a while. Is that every time when we talk about money and it hurts a relationship, it's only when we talk about money at the wrong time. We really talk, most of us discuss about money issue when there is already an issue. Of course, when there's an issue, definitely it will hurt the relationship. But in good time, in normal day-to-day life, why don't we talk about money? When we go shopping, why can't we talk about the topic about money? Yeah, in COVID situation, 19 like that, why can't we talk about money? When we watch a TV advertisement, why can't we talk about money? In a harmony way, and then children will get to learn. Then you won't hurt a relationship. Don't wait until the issue is about to explode. Then you start bringing up the topic and want to talk about it. I guarantee you, it will hurt a relationship. Yeah.
Wonderful. So it sounds like we have to find the right time to talk about money.
Every day, there is always a moment that you can talk about money. Trust me.
Yes.
Every day there is always that moment. Okay. The only problem is that most of us wasn't aware, and most of us didn't go through that process, the education process, to be able to spot those areas. I mean, you want to talk about money, right? Even right now in good time, you want to talk about it. But you don't know. That's why some parents tell me, Ernest, how? We are not equipped, we were not trained, and we are also a failure with money management. How can we teach our kids about money? And they begin to push all the kids to my class. I say, no, but on the other hand, parents, you go, when we send the kids back after attending our class, these kids come back the following week and tell us, teacher, my mommy says so troublesome, like, don't need to follow. So then it's all the effort wasted. For example, in one of our Money Master Junior class, we teach kids, when you want to go shopping, you must know what is needs and wants. So you must prepare a shopping list first, okay? Then before you go out to buy, or whatever you want to buy, give yourself a 7 days period. Think about it. Yeah, any item above certain amount, give yourself 7 days. Especially the shopping list, they're going to tell Papa and Mommy, you want to go shopping? Let's come out the list first. You know what the mommy say? By the time we come out the list, we are back from shopping already. Don't worry, just go. Go down there, pick whatever you want. Okay? So what are we teaching? I'm teaching kids to budget. To know that, yes, you list down the thing to buy, you at least go through the need and want process. But when they go home, the parents say, never mind, let's go and pick whatever you need from the shelf. So then, of course, as they grew up, the children has no value of money, no concept of it. They didn't know that thing costs money. Yeah, just want to buy what you need, just pick, no? Just take from the shelf, put in the cart, and just check out. And when you check out, these days, that we don't even use cash.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are using even just the wallet, the PayWave or anything. Kid didn't know that all these things cost money.
Mm.
And that's why sometimes when we ask in the one of the workshop that we have called the Big Bad Wolf, and we ask children, where do you think money comes from?
From the ATM. Or some of them will say that it's from the ATM.
Oh, they say ATMs are those who are quite educated already, but the younger one, they will say, press the wall.
Press the wall means what does he mean?
They just see the parent go to the wall down there and press ATM all right. So they say, oh, money is from there. Some even say, no, don't need money anymore. You need a handphone only. Why? They say everything you want to buy things, everything is from the handphone. They didn't know it has to be transacted with money being deposited into the account. All right. So as children grow up, they had no sense of money, especially the next generation. When everything now today, we're talking about the world going to the e-world, e-wallet, e-payment, everything is e now. So that's why there is an urgency. Parents, you and I got to come together in joint effort to make sure that our kids are more savvy with money management. I mean, academic is important, but even if we got good academic and then you get to the world, but you'll be struggling, working hard for money. And the money comes in, if you don't know how to manage it, you spend more than you earn, then you're never out of the right place. Do you want that your kids to be in that direction? Just like you and I, John, you and I, today we wasn't trained about money. So when we were first thrown into the world after we graduate, we are all struggling for money. And our children learn the money behavior from us. They model after us. Yeah. So that is where we have to see when and how can we become financially free with passive income. Then they will say, oh, okay, with that, then I will follow through.
Yeah, could you also share with us, because I know that you started off this 10 years ago, and I know that probably you realize some of the issues that are going on among us, and for our kids. What is your backstory of how you started off all this?
Well, I mean, my stories, I share with you a little bit more about myself. Okay, all right. I'm going to share this screen. Okay, who am I, and a little bit, okay. Let me put this on top. Yeah, so this is about me. Yeah, okay. You got the share screen, right? Okay, so I started life way back when I'm 21. So I started working as an employee, earning about $403 a month in a refinery. But for 16 years as an employee, I literally struggled for money. By the age of 36, I've been retrenched 3 times in my life, and literally my bank accounts is 0 every month. Then I started my journey as a financial practitioner, as an insurance agent, since 1996 up to now. Okay, and along the way, the last 24 years, I achieved myself as a certified financial planner and a master money coach and author of the book called Raising Financially Savvy Kids, which I wrote this for my client. Yeah, all right, because over the years, when I look at some of my client children are already married, and they were asking how can we teach their children. So I decided to document this and help them. Yeah. So the next was that this is where I was in the newspaper. Okay. So by no coincidence, I had no control over the press. Okay. Remember this lady here? This big picture, this widow here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her husband died in the Changi airport. and Singaporean donated almost 1 million Sing dollars for her. And in less than 2 years, that 1 million is gone. So here there's a million. There's a story behind this, yeah? But everybody remember the story of this widow. But nobody remember that this Ernest Tan here. Can you see me here?
Yeah.
Okay. They say, oh, because the picture is big, my picture is small. I say, okay. But I also have the same day, I have a full article about me. Yeah, why I teach this? Because I know what is life like. Okay. I started life just like any one of you. No shortcuts. I wasn't handled with the inheritance or whatever. Lucky thing I wasn't handled with the inheritance. And I started life just like normal. Went broke, retrenched. Even in this financial business, I was down about 2 times, 3 times. I started from ground zero and I made my millions. Yeah. So that's about me in the press. Okay. Okay. I wrote many articles. Okay. In the press, even we appear on the TV. Okay. On the Common Sense. All right. Even the First Look Asia. So in this one, we talk about Ang-Pao money, how parents you can help your kids to manage money first by help them to manage their Ang-Pao money. Talking about Ang-Pao money, parents, for goodness sake, don't let your children become teens and then become grown up and they say they don't like to go Chinese senior visitation because mommy and daddy make me a money-making machine. So why? All my Ang-Pao money is always confiscated. My parents, I know that you didn't confiscate your money. You took all your money, John, your kids' money. What do you do with your Ang-Pao money? Your birthday money.
For them to save up.
Where did you put it? Bank, right? But did you bring your kids and go to the bank and let the kids say, okay, auntie, deposit this for me? Most parents don't, because the kids are busy needing to go to school. And we want to do a quick job, just go down there and just deposit and come back. Kids didn't know that you put the money in the bank for them. So they all have the understanding that, hey, after the 15 days of Chinese New Year, parents, you confiscated my money. I never get to see it. And that's where the teenagers have been complaining to me and telling me, hey, what's it? So I told parents, no, they had the money. First, let's bring to the next level. That's where I teach the money just system. I say, look, your kids can start investing where as little as $100, you can start invest. Every year, you all got about $300 to $400 of Ang-Pao money, plus birthday, plus Christmas. Usually, the kids today are much richer than some parents. Yeah, the saving account got much more money. Okay, I say, put it into investment. So at least when you say the word investment, kids have an exposure on the word investment, what is it like? And if you do it on a regular basis, I guarantee you 10, 20 years down the road, that $100, $200 a month or a quarter or a year will definitely grow and make money better than the interest in the bank. Then your parents, you are exposing them. So that's where I was interviewed in First Look Asia, and I told them, say, hey, how you split them up in that money system. This is where I create children, the way children learn, parents, the way children learn things, regardless of whether it's academic or money, you got to make it fun. You got to make it entertaining. So that's where I'm excited to say, hey, let's create, which Chinese call piggy bank? I don't like to call piggy bank. I like to call money jar system. This is my money jar system. How much allowance given, how much you want to put to save, how much you want to bring it to school, how much you share, charity. Yeah. So should I, when I give the allowance, should they spend all first, balance and put into here? Or should they put into here first, the spend jar first, before they even bring it out to school for spending? So all these are techniques. And this is where I will cover details so that parents, you understand all this. Yeah.
Yes, and I can see that you are trying to show 3 teens because now you're sharing screen, so I don't think the parents can see what you're holding. Is it okay that I can stop share first and then you come back and then because I really want to see what are the things that you're holding.
All right. All right, so this is where I was in the radio in Malaysia, like FM, also same thing. So talk about the board game. So this is about me. Then we stop screen here. All
Yeah.
right.
You can show us
So
again the
the
three
money jars, yeah, the three money
managers.
jars.
Yeah. Okay.
The first one is where I created.
This is a safe one.
This is save.
Savings.
This is the spend, and
Mhm.
this is the share. Okay.
Mhm.
So of course there is formula behind 70, 20, 10. So we teach this so that parents, when you give them the allowance, before they even take the allowance, okay, to school, you should apportion it here. And even to make it more lively, more bonding type, why not create your own money jar with your kids? Okay, for example, my grandson and his parent created their own money jar. See, they created their own rather than calling piggy one. So, see, they design it and they create it themselves. So I look at it and say, hey, why not? It's so nice. You see? And then you can give every money jar a name. So when you do things like that, creative, and I guarantee you, even I borrowed this from my grandson and say, Gong Gong, you better return me, okay? This is something they create, they treasure most, rather than you buy for them or you create for them, but you do things that done together with the parents. Children treasure more.
Yes, I can see that there are three components. One is spend and save, and I think that one is kind of common sense to most people. Could you explain the sharing part? Because I think to some of us may be quite new.
Okay, sharing is like giving. Why this sharing is because you see, even my book, the book cover, I also have the three money jar system. Why? Because most of us have been teaching our kids about saving. Yeah, save, save, save. But we have never talked to them about giving or sharing. And that is where the frightening part of it, that in Singapore, I observe it, I might be wrong, don't believe what I have to say, is that there are certain group of young people, when they grow up, they've forgotten that they have to take care of their aged parents. And in the end, the government had to come up with laws that old parents can sue their children for support. Isn't it pathetic? Our society is like top fews in the world economy, and yet we have to come up with this type of regulation, laws, and tech law to really sue our children to give, to support us. Why? Because from young, we haven't taught about them this. Sharing, giving. We only talk about save and spend. And at this moment, I have a question which I hope by now more people know is that, what do you think the first money lesson that the kids learn? First money lessons, I give you 4 options. Save, spend, share, invest. First money lesson.
I would say that it's spend first.
Spend. So
Go and buy what you like.
Yeah, buy what you like, yeah? At what age do you think kids first learn about money lessons?
I would guess that as long as they can walk.
As long as I can walk,
Yeah,
I
and
think as young as 2 years old.
Yeah, and when you ask about it, I try to recall like when I'm giving the ang bao to my young nieces and nephews, I keep on hearing, and they are probably like 2 years old and can understand some words, and then I remember the parents saying that, oh, go and use this to buy sweets, go and buy this or buy that.
So parents, you are the greatest influence to your children money behavior. And the first money lesson that you taught your children is spending. And no wonder the last 24 years up to today, of all the money lessons that I'm teaching, there's only one lesson that I don't need to teach. And you're damn good at it. And it's spending. The hardest was investment. Because everybody was brought up in a family that says investment is meant for the rich, investment is risky, all right? As you know, investment need a lot of luck, right? There are all sorts of myths coming in. So I personally felt that, parents, you need to come in to learn what you have not been taught before about money, especially young parents, so that in your family, in your conversation, daily conversation with your kids about money, certain times you can spot those teachable moments, you bring up that topic. For example, a couple of months ago, when COVID situation was so bad in Singapore and SIA, was having a bit of problem, and then it was flashing the news. One family called me, it's a good time to tell my kids, my teenager, about what's the cash flow problem at SIA and what is going on, and should we buy the thing. I say, yeah, go and talk to them. Whether to buy or not, there's another thing. Talk to them. It could be a good opportunity. Why not? But you at least you spot those moments and you can talk to them. Don't underestimate the kids. Kids can learn and can understand a lot of things. They can figure it out very quickly if you give them the opportunity. So parents, you are the greatest influencer. You are the one that the kids is looking up for. And even if you today taught, and this is where my greatest heartache, is if we don't start teaching kids about money when they're young and they become teens, parents, when you got those headaches, don't push your teen to us. And this is what parents have been pushing the teens to our classes. And when the teens come to our money classes, they are not interested at all. Yeah? And why you come here? No, I don't want to come on, teacher. My mommy forced me to come. And the first day in the class only, they have no mood at all. Okay? And it takes a long while to warm them up. Yeah? So parents, you can't be teaching your kids the same old thing when your kids become a teens. When they're kids, you can teach them about spending lah, sharing lah, saving lah. But when they become teens, you're going to teach them the same old thing again. Then they are not going to listen to you. But the world outside there is more attractive than your nagging, they call it. Unless you really have something up in your sleeve that will surprise your teens, then your teens will love to come home and discuss with you. Every time I discuss with you, it's only about saving and spending. And then the kids say, oh, daddy, mommy, you're so boring. And that is where I started with a financial parenting webinar. When really I want parents, you to come in and, I'm financially free. Okay, John, you know me. I don't need to earn those extra. Yeah. So I ask parents to come in. So to learn things that you have missed out during your school years. I wish our school system will teach me about making money. Teach me about making passive income so that I don't have to struggle for 16 years as an employee. All right. And finally, I met a lot of mentors out there that taught me a lot of things that I can never find it in the school textbooks. Yeah. And that's where I decided that, in order to help parents, I want to make complex financial topics, investments, strategy, into simpler games and activities that they can see what they call the underlying strategy behind the game, moral. Okay, so then they say, okay, oh, that's what you mean. Oh, investment is not that risky. Okay, so things like that. Even for kids, I don't see any board game besides Monopoly that is for kids that are between 5 to 7 or 8 years old. Okay, and that's why I created the Money Junior board game that I decided that I say, hey, let's make it interactive. Let's make it fun. So that become a game that children and parents can play together, and they have good time of bonding. They can talk about it, yeah, in a fun way, so that you won't hurt that relationship. And that is where the board game comes in. And right now with these circuit breakers, with these COVID-19, I got to convert all this into online. And how much work to do, and then getting kids excited to learn. And the greatest challenge right now is getting the teens to the online. Yeah.
So a quick question, like probably some of us may not be so financially savvy. So how can we start to engage our children in this kind of conversation at home?
Well, I think first thing, I mean, of course, even one of the things that I have. Do you know the story of Three Little Pigs?
Yes, I'm not sure is it the same version as yours.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has heard the financial fairy tale. No, the fairy tale of Three Little Pigs. But then no one has understand the secret behind why the Three Little Pigs built three different houses. Yeah, so we treated that financial fairy tale or the fairy tales of the Three Little Pigs into a financial fairy tales, and then we invite parents and kids to come into that Big Bad Wolf webinar. So kids begin to see, hey, all this money is about, okay? And parents begin to understand their kids' behavior. And then from there, we tell parents, see? And parents will now, oh, I didn't know my kid was like that. Okay, and then from there, then we break the kids and the parents into two separate webinar class. One, the kids will now go on to the Money Master Junior, level 1 to level 3. Okay, so parents, you are not to be in that class. Okay, you can observe, but you should not be in the class because we want the children to what they call express themselves. Because when parents are around, kids tend to hold back, especially teens. Okay, and then parents, we will tell you what we observe your children, okay, during your financial parenting webinar class with me. That become a feedback to you. Then from there, they say, that's where we pick up all these things, and then you ask questions, and then we'll tell you, coaching you, and then how you can go back and then start working around your financial issue in your family. Yeah. Good questions.
Yes. Then what about because it sounds like they have to go through the story of the Three Little Pigs. Would you be able to just briefly share how do you turn this fairy tale, I mean this story into something
why we take fairy tales, even nursery rhymes?
Yeah.
Because John, we already passed our teens age, but today we all can remember the financial fairy tale, there's the fairy tale stories. Three Little Pigs lah, Snow White lah, 小熊请客啦, correct? How come? We can all remember. We can even remember the nursery rhyme of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Couldn't Lie, Come Papa, right? How come it's so embedded in us? No matter how old you are going to be, you somehow or other can recall those things. So I feel that money lesson is so important that I think that if I can now tweak some of these financial fairy tales, okay, into money stories, that children now can remember better those money lessons. I'm in the process of, and there are some children who are good at music. After the 12 or 14 money back session that I have with the Malaysian kids, one of them are good at music, and they are willing to come out and say, hey, teacher, can I write you some nursery rhymes and you pay me? I say, how much to pay you? One song. Cheap lah. 30 sing or 30 ringgit. 30 ringgit. I pay you. Go and write it. As long as it's catchy, children remember it. And I want it as a lesson they will remember for the rest of their life, because for the rest of their life, we'll be dealing with money. Yeah. So I want them to remember. That's where we tweeted all these things. I want to make it as real as possible so that it becomes more practical. Yeah.
What about for, let's say, like right now, if today a parent wants to start to talk about financial savviness, and yet this is something that they haven't discussed it at all. So how should one start? Because I think many parents want to start, but I guess it's how we also learn since young about managing the money. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
we don't know how. So how can we do it?
Well, I think in order to teach about money, we got to give money. Just like if you want to teach the kids to ride a bicycle, can you just give theory and don't get the kid onto the bicycle? Can they learn how to ride? No way. Same thing. If you want your kid to be good at managing money or to become a good money master, you got to give them some form of money to be good at. And I feel that some may not agree, is that start giving them an allowance. When you give them an allowance, that is where you apportion it. To give it daily, then it's no good for the kids. Then the kids will say that if today I overspend, I know tomorrow got money coming in again. So it's not helping. But again, if you don't give them on a daily basis, especially when they are young, they still probably they still don't know how to manage money. And you give them the whole week, they scramble the whole week, also gone, then how? So it's good that we got to start small and then learn how to progress. So when it's primary one, maybe the first 2 months, 3 months, we give them on a daily basis. As we give them, then we apportion it. Don't give them just enough. Oh, today you go for, some parents when they're before the school start, okay, primary one, the parents cancel Singapore, cancel parent. They will go to the school canteen, survey, find out the food cost, and then add up and say, okay, you need the food. The food is 1 bowl of meat is how much, and drink is how much. Then I give you exactly. So then the kids will learn money just enough. Nothing left to put into save. Nothing is left for share. So parents, as you go to the canteen to look for the food, it's okay. I understand. Could you add up and then make sure that you cater for share and save jar? For example, if your food costs add up to be $1.40, parents, is it all right for you to give $2? As an example. Yeah, why? 70% of the $2 is $1.40. That is where the spend jar is. Okay, let me get the thing. Okay, I want you to spend 70%. So it's 140 for spending, for you to bring to touch shop to buy your food. 20% is for you to put into the save jar. So 20% of that is 40 cents. So it's 180. 10% of it must go to the share. That is 20%, 20 cents go inside here. So in that case, we are teaching the children to have a balanced view of budgeting. As they grow up, they know. But parents, as they grow up, you need to grow. This money just system need to grow and expand it. I created all these things to make it for my parenting workshop. Okay, this is from T-Half. Parents, if you think kids got 3 money jars, you better set a good example to have 6 here.
This is for parents.
Yeah, this is for parents. So parents begin to see, kids begin to see, parents also got their own sets of money jar. Visual. Then, okay, you set a good example. Okay, so each jar has its own functions, right? And then from there, they say, daddy also have this jar, mommy also have, now kids also have. So when they become teens, then we upgrade it to the adult money jars. Yeah, so that's one way to start conversation, the money jar system. And if you watch TV, you saw something, and they're advertising, then we can start teaching, why are they advertising? Why they captivate your mind? Yeah, why? Is McDonald's the happy meal, the happy? When we teach children about when they were in Money Master Junior Level 3, we teach them about costing about the food. 3 or level 3 or level 4. Okay? Then you realize, actually, I can make my burger at this price. And the difference is the profit that the McDonald's is making. Then they say, okay. And that's why in Malaysia, there's one kid who just finished about 4 weeks, 5 weeks ago, and he's in Penang, and he started doing his mentor lunch, selling online. He's only like 11 or 12 years old only. One kid, don't underestimate the kids. Try, parents. You need, I don't know, I'm not trying, I don't want to keep on, sounds like I'm promoting my workshop. No, you need to get in touch with a lot of literature, a lot of books, articles that you can read. There are plenty in the internet. You can search and then improvise. If not, be a friend with my Facebook, and then you can see people sharing.
Okay, I have one, actually I have two questions because I'm very interested in knowing how to teach our children financial savviness at home. So the first question is, when you talk about sharing, actually what consists of sharing, or what are some of the activities the kids can do? And also, when you share with us that parents need 6 jars, could you tell us what is the breakdown of the 6 jars? Because I'm very keen to know that as well.
Okay. For the sharing, parents, sharing did not necessarily be just cash. Parents, our children, Singapore children are too blessed. Do you find your house that you are having, each year goes by, it gets smaller and smaller because you have so much toys. Christmas gift coming, buy, grandparent buy, 2 grandparents buy, then, storeroom not enough, flooded into the living hall, all right? So parents, when you come to those moments, like now it's already like coming to year end, yeah? You can teach your kids about philanthropy, about giving, by asking them, before you can receive any gifts this year, I want you to go into the storeroom, into your bedroom to find out 2 good condition quality toys, okay, to give away before you can receive one more. And even as they search for the toys that they give away, please, daddy, mommy, please bring them along to do the giving. Bring them to the homes. Let them do the hand over the gifts to the unfortunate children. When you, in the action of doing this extra work to bring them to do the giving, they begin to see how fortunate they are. Then they know how to be contented, they know how to count your blessing. I guarantee you, as years goes by, they will know, say, let's save the money. Not necessarily buy all this thing. Yeah, that's one way of giving. Parents, another way of giving. I mean, John, you and me, do you give parents your money allowance? Yes, some form. But how did you do it?
Sorry, give the kids allowance?
No, give your parents.
Oh, through
bank transfer?
Yes, from through the banking service.
Yeah. John, please help your children. Don't do that. Because when you do the banking service, the transfer, most likely the children don't get to see it. Most likely they are either doing their homework or they are asleep. They didn't know that you are giving your parents. They don't get to learn that moment. That is their teachable moments. John, from now onwards, will be okay that when you visit your parents, you give this money that you want to give to your parent to give it to your children. Okay, say, girl, boy, can you give this akong, ama, popo, yeye? Can you give? Then they say, why, huh? Because they are already, ma. When I'm young, they bring me up. They know now they're old, they got no work. It's only my duty to give them the money. And when you give them money, can you give that kong or popo a hug? They say, I love you, I thank you. So those are teachable moments. Yeah. So it's not just about teaching value of money. We're teaching about our strong Chinese culture. The ASEAN culture is there. But if you don't do that and we do internet transfer, I guarantee you, this whole culture, the value will be eroded as time goes by. Yeah, so that's what I see. Same thing as credit cards. Why are Singapore youngs facing bankruptcy because of credit cards? Same reason. They saw parents spending using credit cards. But when parents are making payment, they are asleep. They didn't know that credit card got to do payment one. No money, use card law. But when the payment come, parents were doing it, never teach them. But when you spend, you show them. You didn't teach them, but you show them how to use it. They observe you at the counter. So I think these are all teachable moments. Watch it. Yeah. So your next question is asking about the 6 money jars for each one of the kids or your thing. Okay. I mean, normally this is quite a detailed one I teach in the financial parenting workshop. First jar is called the financial freedom account. It's FFA. You see this represented by a goose with holding a golden eggs. Money going to this jar cannot come out. Rule number 1. It goes in, cannot come out. The only time the money can come out is the yield of the money, the fruit of the money. Sounds familiar to you? Our CPF account. Money can go in, cannot come out. That's why Singapore is so rich today. That the world, so many countries in the Asia is copying our system. Hong Kong, China, Malaysia. They are copying our system because that is called financial freedom account. The second one is called the long-term saving for spending. You save enough to spend your vacation rather than go on debts, rather than spend on credit cards and then you got no money to pay. But you save enough so that you know you can afford it. Yeah, that's long-term. This one is called the necessity jar, your living expenses. This one for sure can't run away. And this one is called the education jar, not your children education, your adult education. Like for example, I ask people to come for my financial parenting webinar, which for 3 sessions plus about 3-4 one-to-one coaching, and I only charge something like $199. Okay, they say so expensive. I say, look, by the time you divide out, it's cheaper than your children's tuition class. Yeah, and they say no money. Why they say no money? Because they didn't budget for it. Education is ongoing. If you think education is expensive, try ignorant. And this one is called the giving jar, which is similar to your children's safe jar. Okay, if you can manage all the first 5 jar well, okay, this is the one that this jar, I called it the play jar, or I called it the fun jar. That's why I put a monkey on it, because we all love to have fun. It's exactly opposite from the first jar. Money go into this jar every month must be spent off. As long as you manage the first 5 jar well, money in the jar, in this jar, it should be all spent. John, if your wife spend money in this jar, don't ask question about it. Okay, if your wife use money in this jar to go manicure, facial, massage, as long as it's from this jar, don't question. We never understand why they need those. Same thing, women, if men spend money on this jar to buy gadgets, tons of gadgets, as long as it's from this jar, women don't ask. This is meant for fun. As long as they manage the first 5 jar well, there will be harmony in the family. Okay, that's all.
For the children's 3 jar, I remember you said the percentage breakdown is 70, 20, 10. What about these 6 jars for adults? Is there some form of percentage breakdown as well?
There are. So each is 10, except necessity is 50, to make it simple. But wait, stressing time like this, can we adjust the figure?
Definitely.
We can. The only figure that cannot be adjusted, guess which jar?
Education?
Financial freedom.
Financial freedom. It's a long-term planning.
Correct. You can't adjust. It's meant for the goose to grow so that it will lay the golden eggs when you turn old age. Passive income. Yeah? It's just like our CPF money. No matter how, it will be the last resort before they touch it and cut it. It's not the first. You can cut all the percentage in all other manager except financial freedom account. Okay? To answer your question about all this percentage, even like all these things here, okay, all this money just for kids. Allowance, 70% go to spend. But what happens if it comes to Chinese New Year ang pao money? How to solve this problem? Are we going to give 70% of the ang pao money to let children to spend?
No.
No, right? It's too much. Agree? But on the other hand, we cannot say don't give. Then they say, what's the point of Chinese New Year, and all the 100% money complicated. So it's the same thing. Chinese New Year ang pao money, we will use the same money just system. And I say it's low, 70% go to saving. I just reverse the percentage. I give you 20% to spend. Since it's Chinese New Year, in the mood or whatever, or your birthday gift or your Christmas gift, money, I say, okay, 20% of it for you to spend. Okay? And same thing, regardless whether it's ang pao money, whether it's birthday, we still want to teach them to give. There are always unfortunate people around. If it's Christmas, hey, how about giving away some of your Christmas gift or Christmas receiving money for your Christmas gift? You can always do that. Ang pao is one of them. All right, use this, bless someone. So in that way, your children will grow up to be more holistic on coming to money issues. Yeah, I hope I answered most of the questions. I know there are tons of them out there. So parents, if you still got a lot of questions in coming to teaching kids about money, well, you can search for me in my Facebook, okay, which I can share with you that you can like my page and then, be friend with me. And then we usually have a lot of what they call sharing or tips that we give out there. This is me. So my contact number, my emails, okay, my Facebook is there. You can look for my page, Raising Financially Savvy Kids or something. Yeah, just be a friend, and then parents group together, share together. I don't claim that I know everything. In fact, whatever all this content or this information I have is for the last 12, 14 years that I'm dealing with all sorts of different parents with all your problems that they face. And that's where I begin to build my content for my workshops, for my books, even the board games, hearing from preschool teachers, who they're having, the problem. And that's where I started all this. So as much as I help you, you can contribute back. You give me the questions, you give me the problems. I don't promise I can solve every one of them, but given time, I should be able to think of a solution. Then that's where we package them up.
Sure. Actually, in fact, I got one last question because earlier on you mentioned about investment, and again, it's a question as a fellow parent. Yeah. So, how do I expose my child at an early age to the idea about investment and you?
Simple. Okay. The money jar system is one of the way to it. The adult, we got the first money jar called the financial freedom account. And the rule of the game, the money jar is that money goes in, cannot come out. So if the money goes in, cannot come out, then myself invest it. Why put in a bank? The interest that you earn cannot even catch up with inflation. And you will know in any long-term investment, okay, you will make money. And that's why I say a lot of people say no money, no money. Hey, where's the financial freedom account money? There is the money that you want to put. For kids, where to find $100 a month, a quarter to do? Hey, parents, you already have the intention that the ang pao money is something meant for the kid. You will try as much as you can not to touch it. It's meant for them. Okay, as long as 你没有动歪脑筋要去用那笔钱 you will never touch it. So you left it there. By the time they're 20, then you pass it over to them. I would say, hey, that money, why not start an investment account? Because, like what I say, it doesn't take a lot of money to do investing. As little as $100 a month, a quarter. If it's a month, it's only a $3 only. If it's a quarter, it's something like $1 a day. I teach teens, cut down your soft drinks. Okay, the soft drink, the can of soft drinks will make you a millionaire. Then they say, how? Show them all the calculation. So, John, you are good at teaching children at maths, right? So sometimes when I say the school, when they teach maths, okay, when they come to the part they teach compound interest, simple interest, why not add in compound interest? Extend a little bit on that. Inject money topics into the curriculum. And I think maths is one of the best because when it comes to money, you deal with figures. So you teach simple interest, good. You want simple interest? You want compound interest? What's the difference between the two? And I have a story to tell, a dynasty story. And then the children say, oh, I see compound interest work this way. And then they say, okay. Then they say, okay, I want compound interest. Compound interest means interest on interest. So don't take out your interest. So it's like that. I'm teaching them to have that FFHR. Don't take out the money. Let money grow with money. Yeah. I hope answer those questions that you have in mind.
Yes, yeah. Actually, in fact, as you're sharing, and I realized that there's a lot of mention of percentages. And interestingly, when I teach my students, percentages seems to be one of the most difficult topics for them.
Yeah. So yes, anything is always difficult if it's a first introduction, but I think that what you're teaching mathematics, you use blocks and all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I teach percentages. I use something that they can visualize. Okay. They create their own money jars. They write the percentage themselves. Anything they create, anything they write it from their hands so they can remember better.
Awesome. Yes. Actually, in fact, my biggest takeaway from your sharing is to create the 3 money jars for my kids and then also 6 for myself.
Yes. All right. This is where you do it together as a family.
Yes. And a good thing is because I think those jars that I saw you holding are those that we always see during Chinese New Year, which holds the
cookie jars. These are cookie jars. Of course, some parents say, when I teach a financial parenting class, Ernest, for us, like so childish. I say, for me, I mean, I use this in the past, but these days I don't. I use my credit card as one form of the jar system. I have a credit card that's for my leisure. I have for long-term spending, my vacation. I have another credit card just purely for my groceries, household expenditure.
Mm-hmm.
I have a credit card that's purely for education.
Mm-hmm.
Another one just purely for donation. I donate to World Vision. Yeah. So I use one credit card for it, and I make use of them to prepare all the statements for me. So I don't have to keep record. I know I go to the DBS one. I know this one is all my giving. I know how much I give every year. I just have to pull out there. I know already. So I make use of credit card company to do all the accounting work for me. They also, of course, the financial freedom account, I cannot use the credit card side, All right. The fund jar is another one. I use credit card. Anything that I go out for fun is meant in the credit card, and I set the limit there because I know the percentage, so you cannot go over the limit. Done. So there's many ways of going around it with technology, and as long as you spend a little bit of effort to figure it out, sure. And by the way, some of these ideas, I learned it from some parents in the course of the sharing.
Yes, thanks for sharing that, because I thought what you just shared was an even bigger takeaway for me. Many credit cards and make use of the banks to do the statements.
Yeah. Free what? Right?
And they want your
And they give
business,
you
yeah.
points, they
Yeah.
give you what can exchange this and that. So I look at it, why not? Right? My car installment, I also use credit card to pay. Yeah.
Great. Yes. Yeah. We have come to, I think, almost 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to keep to the time. Okay. Thanks so much for sharing. Because I know that through this 1 hour, I got a lot out of you, out from what you shared. It's not just for kids. I think the habits applies to adults as well.
Yeah, because you are the influencer to your kids. So really, parents, I need you to come to my financial planning workshop. You see yourself, then you realize that you need to do a lot of work out there, especially in bad times like this. All right. For me, I'm enjoying life. Regardless of whether time good or bad, I'm having my passive income. I work not because I have to. I work because I enjoy working. I love the work that I'm doing. Yeah. And I just, sometimes I'm lazy. I just want to think back. It's okay. I don't have to work. I love gardening, so I use gardening. And that's why in one of the radio station, one of the audience called in and says that they give me a name that I'm quite honored to think that I think is good, but I cannot translate it into English. They called it 理财农夫.
理财农夫, 理财 means finance, management,
Financial
farmer.
farmer. Because I realized that in gardening, as a farmer, they taught me so much about finance management. Yeah. What does a farmer do during winter time? They don't go to sleep.
Yep.
They don't go and make babies. They don't go and drink beer. They were networking and planning for the next season.
Yep.
Same thing when you come to dealing with money. We have to. You can't be good. If you want to grow tauge, then 3-5 days you get your harvest. But those tauge will not produce good returns. You don't get good pricing for tauge, right? But if today you want to grow a durian tree, then you must have patience. 7-10 years later, you get passive income. You don't have to do watering anymore. Yeah? And every 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, you get durians. Passive. But you want to grow vegetables, every 6-7 weeks, you harvest finish, you got to start over again. So I just realized that, and then when I spoke about this, try to narrate it, similarity in our life, then people will realize, oh, and that's where one audience call in, they call me 理财农夫. Because I think, okay, but I don't know whether you translate to English doesn't make sense anymore. Yeah. So thanks for the time. I really appreciate, inviting me. And if there's anything that you want to learn more, or want to learn more, let's talk on Facebook, send me a message, best attend some of the classes, send your children in. I will do my best. If money is an issue, it's solved.
Yes, thanks so much for sharing. I think I got a lot out of during this past 1 hour. And parents who are watching, again, there are a few of us watching and who are interested in what we are sharing. Okay, so a quick one, because as you know, we run a Facebook group for parents who teach their kids math at home, and definitely it's very important because they have to do well for percentage, not just for school but for financial management. Yeah. Okay, so the question is, right now, as you know, PSLE is coming soon, and it's always around end of September to October. And like 12 years olds, as some of you have seen, could be quite stressed out. Yeah, because it's a big exam for them.
Who stressed them? It's not the exam that stressed them. It's the parent that stressed them.
Okay, anyway, they feel the stress. Yeah. So it's a question that I always ask my guests. And let's say if I may invite you, because now you know a lot of things, you are very good and wise in whatever you are doing. Let's say if I invite you to walk down the memory lane to your younger self, and as you walk, you meet the 12-year-old Ernest. And he's so close to you that you can almost touch him and he's looking at you in the eyes. What will the Ernest now tell the younger Ernest?
Well, study hard is good, but keep abreast with what is happening in the world, in the real world out there. And if you can, after the PSLE, okay, go and find some work to do. Parents, that is what I started life working at 9 years old, because out there, the greatest university out there to give your children the best education is the street university. Okay, if the first university in the world was in the streets, and then people documented it, that become our textbooks. And then our children were so stressed memorizing it. But if we can let our children out there in the world, expose them to the real world, their mind begin to open. Oh, this is economy. Oh, this is demand and supply. Oh, this is this. Oh, the money is like that. They transact. They will learn better than in what's documented in the textbook. Trust me. You and I today as parents, sometimes we teach our kids, they don't listen. I have 3 kids and I have 2 grandchildren. But if you let them out there, you will say, go to a provision shop and say, hey, uncle, never mind my children, today stay here with you. Don't need to give salary, don't need to give wages. Ask him to help you anything. They observe everything. And whatever the outsider tell, they remember better than you say, parents. I give you one example. My children started working after O levels, okay? And he worked in, I can't remember, it's Pizza Hut or McDonald's. And when go down there, the first thing they ask them to wash toilet. Come back, they complain anything. Okay, they make me wash toilet. I said, working is like that, what? Okay, pick whatever you want to do. For them, for that time in their life, they remember working was tough, earning money was tough. They treasure every single cent they hold. So sometimes it's out there that give the more valuable lesson than we at home do. Parents, let them go there, let them expose themselves. Okay, they will learn better out there. Don't pamper too much, I can say.
Thanks so much for the wise
Thanks,
words
John.
coming from Mr. Ernest Tan, who has 3 children and 2 very cute grandchildren. And I can see that one of them, you have pictures behind you, and they look very cute.
Yeah, they are my precious snake now. So
yes, definitely.
Before I leave, I always ask this question, only to parents, but cannot ask the children, okay? Parents, don't ask this to your kids. John, are your kids your assets or liability?
Assets, I would say.
Oh, is that? Then my definition is assets. Asset must put money in your pocket.
So that the kids
liability so now it's your liability. But the question is, how can you turn your kids to be your assets? If you still don't teach them about money lessons, forever they will be your liability.
Wow, I think I just got a bigger takeaway from you. If this interview can last until 10 o'clock, I think I will get so much more.
That's why my financial parenting workshop from 8:30, they will last all the way to midnight. People still continue,
Yes. It's really interesting.
Catch up again.
Yes, please take care. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And parents, now you can't get this, because I got
they
this.
They still can get from me if they want to. They got to drop me personally, because no more going in the bookstores.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for parents, actually, I met Ernest back in 2015, and he wrote this for me. So now this book is worth so much more. Yeah, probably 22.
Limited, no more already.
Yeah, because
that's 60-80 calculation. Yeah. Thank you for keeping the book.
Yes. Of course. Actually, I especially dig it out just for this interview. Yeah, because actually, I read through and I thought it's really good for children.
Yeah.
And because of this interview, I begin to appreciate the cover even more. And I didn't realize that until now, for the past 5 years, that, it says here, spend, save, and share. Wow. It's so powerful.
Yep. My life is always blessed with a lot of people around me, Okay, the cover wasn't designed by me, it was designed by my publisher. We had a big argument, but finally the vote was that this cover is better. And true enough, by changing the cover, the book sales went up.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's very
Yeah.
children friendly, and also it fits the. I mean, it fits. It's a good fit for adults as well. I mean, not too pro or boring, but it's in the midway between what children like as well as what adults like.
Yep.
Okay, just before you go off, we have Mami Sue, who has been watching this since the start, and I think she has been with us since morning. Wow, Sue, and she said words of wisdom. Yeah, thanks so much for the sharing.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you for the Mami. I didn't get to see who is it because I didn't on the Facebook. Thank you very much. Okay, wish to catch up with you all. All right.
Thanks so much. Please take care. Bye bye.
Take care then. Bye.
Bye.